It is a very exciting time to be a gamer. We got the release of the Nintendo Switch 2. We got the State of Play. We got the Xbox Games Showcase. And we have the Summer Games Fest presentation. All going on within like 3 or 4 days of each other, which is ridiculous. It's the closest thing to E3 we've had in a very, very long time, and I love it. Stick around on the channel by subscribing. That's what I want you to do, because I'm going to be talking about each and everything that comes out, news, reviews, all that fun stuff. All right, so come back and enjoy the show. One of the things that seemed like it kind of slipped under the radar, but is actually a kind of a big deal, came out on the PlayStation blog. It was very briefly teased in the State of Play, is Project Defiant. It's going to be Sony's first attempt at a wireless fighting stick, which will work with the PlayStation 5 and the PlayStation 5. Now, when you think of other controllers, obviously you think of the lineage of like the DualShock, the DualSense, that sort of thing. Obviously the newer, the Edge, the new Pro controller variant, right? They've also made some controllers for disabled gamers, right? That have, accessibility options and different plugs and connects for disabled gamers to enjoy gaming as well. The fight stick market is largely untapped by maybe like 2 or 3 named vendors who've been around a long time. If you ever watch Evo, or if you've ever been to an arcade, you've probably grabbed and played with an arcade controller before, but it's not really that popular. Fighting games, I'm not going to say they're not as popular like as they were before. Obviously, the new Marvel game coming out is probably going to draw a lot of people back in, right? Because that looks really cool. Obviously, Mortal Kombat is staple, Street Fighter is staple, but most people just play with their current controllers. So Sony like dabbing their toe in the water on this is kind of interesting. It's almost like a lost proposition in terms of like money, in the sense that like it's not going to do very well. It's a very niche community, but if done correctly, could actually be really cool. So the new controller, which is going to utilize the PlayStation Link technology, is trying to connect for ultra low latency in fighting games. Now, latency is everything, okay? Wireless controllers have latency, but it's tolerable. You really don't notice it. But if you're ever really curious and you have a gaming PC or any kind of PC at all that you can take a controller and plug it in, you can run tests to see the latency you get wireless versus wired. And 100% of the time, wireless is always slower. Always slower. There's always more latency. Does it matter a lot in games? Well, it depends on the game. But in a fighting game, when you're trying to pull off combos and do perfect parries and frame pixel tricks and pixel perfect inputs and all these buzzwords and terms you hear, yeah, it matters quite a bit. So wireless is, it's a hit and miss, right? I mean, we've got the Bluetooth technology, which is great, but it does induce some wireless latency. And you probably notice it the most if you have Apple CarPlay in your vehicle and you hit pause on your playlist and the music keeps going for a second or two. That's latency. I mean, plain and simple, right? So the fact that they're trying to incorporate their PlayStation Link technology for the lowest latency possible is what makes this controller different than others. Most controllers are wired, which means you're having to sit very close to a television, or you're getting USB extenders to sit on your lap on a couch, at a reasonable distance. But either way, the reality is you are not up close and center with the action typically. So to be able to bridge that gap between couch relaxing, but you still want to be more of a pro player, and that wireless latency is exactly what they're trying to do here. So Project Defiant obviously is going to offer this wireless latency with multiple ways to play. It includes a custom designed controller for fighting games. So this is a custom stick that has been designed by Sony. It features a toolless interchangeable restrictor gate for the stick, buttons, mechanical switches, and the touchpad like the one found in the DualSense wireless controller. Obviously, they're going to say that it's sturdy and ergonomic and it's going to have a comfortable feel to it. The controller also has a built-in storage compartment for all those restrictor gates and the PS Link USB adapter. And it also supports the ability to turn on your PlayStation wirelessly. So lots of customization and adjustments that can be done here, which I appreciate. Because of that, ultra low latency support. It's going to be compatible with PlayStation 5 and with PC to try to get the most reduced latency possible. And they're going to go ahead and include a carrying case with it. I wish we had more pictures of it. We just have this one stock photo and a little video here, which the video doesn't really even show that much, honestly. But the idea here is that, you're going to be able to get a really nice fighting stick that is made by PlayStation here that, could be your answer to entering into that market. The fact that it is compatible with PlayStation 5 is nice. And there are some old beat 'em up games, some of the side-scrolling beat 'em up games like Final Fight and Double Dragon, Battletoads, right? That this would work great for. Even the new Ninja Turtles Cowabunga collection, this would work phenomenal for. The X-Men games. Anything back to when you were like in the arcade days, right? This would be phenomenal for that. So for that reason, I am interested. I'm not saying I'm going to buy it. I don't know how much it costs. We don't have a release date yet. There's still a lot of questions for it, but it's on my radar for sure. So I think there's like I said, I feel like it's going to be at a loss almost, but it's something worth keeping an eye on. And as it gets closer, as we get more technical information, as it releases in the wild, if we hear from some other people who get to do a play test or whatever, I'll come back and report on it because I think it's something worth keeping your eye on. That'll wrap up today's video. I want to thank you guys so much for watching. Take care of yourselves. And until next time, I will see you guys on the other side. Bye-bye.